This is the UMAREX officially licensed Glock 34 Gen 4 Deluxe version, aka Elite Force. Right, let's get it open. So as you know, when you go for the deluxe version, apart from some upgrades to the pistol itself, you get this lovely original Glock case. Oh. So as always, you get a nice and quite comprehensive instruction manual, and depending on where you are on this planet, you also get a couple of back straps, a pin for the back straps, and no matter where you are on this planet, because it's CO2, an Allen key. And of course, the UMAREX, or if you like, Elite Force, officially licensed Glock 34, the deluxe version. And here it is in all its official glory, the Glock 34. Now you're probably looking at this, those of you who are not too familiar with Glocks, whether it be Airsoft or the real thing, you're thinking, boy, that looks like a Glock 17. Well, let me just show you the size difference between the two and one or two other differences between the 34 and the 17. So this is the 17. First of all, let me just show you. When you see them side by side, you will begin to appreciate the differences. For example, you can see that pretty much the slide stops or ends where the lower rail ends on the Glock 17. On the Glock 34, you can see that slide goes on further. And even from my perspective, the way I'm looking at it from this direction, I can actually see there's a difference in the finish on the slide too. I'll show you that a bit more closer in a moment. And can I just add, I don't know if it's just me, but on screen it looks as if the Glock 34 slide is slimmer than the 17, yet when I hold them in my hands, they look exactly the same. Also on this Glock 34, you will notice that on this slide lock and release right here, it's a bit more enhanced than the standard Glock 17. So as you can see, there's a sort of a lip right there on the 34 compared to the 17. So pretty much everything else to the naked eye at first glance looks the same as a 17, but this being the UMAREX or Elite Force Deluxe edition of this Glock 34, the slide is CNC machined. And that's not all. If you look down the barrel, I don't normally like to point the barrel down the camera lens, but it is safe, there's nothing in there, it's off, and it's not a real gun. But you know, if I did have a BB in there and it did accidentally fire, I can kiss goodbye to this camera. But it's safe, it's clear. Now, look, again you can see the difference because of this longer slide. That's what it's going to look like from the front. And that's not all. Look at the top. Look at that huge cutout on the top. Now before you say it, I know I do have other Glocks, the unofficial ones, that do have cutouts on the slide, but it's nice to see this official one with that huge in-your-face cutout. Now in theory that means it makes the slide a little bit lighter, so when you're firing the thing, especially if it's rapid fire, it should cycle just that bit quicker than if it was a full uncut slide. Take a look at the trades. Nice. Right, now before I take the slide off the 34, take a look at the difference in the finish between the 17 and the 34 on the bottom. you can see that the 17 is a lighter shade The 34, this one, is of a darker shade. And also take a look at how the slide has been finished on the 34, a more rounded off finish compared to a more square blocky finish on the 17. And again, you can appreciate the size difference between the two slides. Right, let's get the slide off. Nice, take a look at that. You can see it's all reinforced. It's the CO2 version, so it has to be reinforced. I'll be honest with you, unless you're part of the manufacturing process, to the naked eye, it don't look much difference to the other versions, but it is a CNC machined slide. So let me just show you the Glock 17. And by the way, the Glock 17 that I've been comparing with this Glock 34 is also CO2, so they're both CO2 slides. So Glock 17, Glock 34, and apart from the obvious here, everything else pretty much looks identical. Look, same thickness on the internal metal parts. Can you see the lighter grey metal pieces right there? There doesn't seem to be any discrepancy between the two. They're literally identical in every way to the naked eye. Okay, I've seen a difference here, but now again, that could possibly be because of the length of the barrels. But can you see there and there? And here are the two lower frames. This one on my right hand side being the Glock 34, this one being the Glock 17, and again, identical. 34, 17. So here is a Glock 17 and Glock 34 mashup. So this is the lower frame for the 17 and the slide for the 34. Now, just in case you're doubting me as to whether this is the lower frame for the 17 or not, remember I showed you on the 34, the slide lock and release had a little lip on it. There's no lip on this one because this is the 17 frame. Right, let me just get it off, because this is heresy. Okay, so let me put the 34 slide back on to the 34 frame. So let me take the opportunity now to show you the mag for the Glock 34. Of course, it's a CO2, so you will have these gaping big holes right there. It's pretty much going to be the same as the Glock 17 CO2. Let me just quickly show you. Apart from, yet again, the finish. Now the 34 is on this side, it being a brand new one, so it's still got the sticker on there, and this is the 17. Again, just like its slide, a bit lighter than the 34. Right, I'm going to get the mag ready. Now because it's CO2, no need to remove the base or anything like that. You just use your supplied Allen key to tighten or loosen the base. Okay, let me just get a little silicone oil down there, and as always you just tighten it until you hear that little hiss. Right, let's get some BBs in. Nice. Right, I don't know if you picked that up on camera, but the slide isn't really moving nice and smoothly. It's slightly sticking when I racked it just then. So I would suggest when you get this for the first time, get some oil in there, get it all lubed up so that it can run flawlessly. Right, so what I'm going to do, as you can see, and by the way, this is the first time I'm doing a shooting test at the new location, so I'm giving you a perspective of what I'm working with here. So you've already seen this epic airsoft gun wall, and behind the target are the pistols, my wall of pistols. I'm gonna just do 1 or 2 shots at the bottom of the target just to make sure this bad boy works And then I'm gonna turn the target so that the back of the target is facing the wall. And then luckily enough, there is a door opposite this wall that leads me down a long corridor, and I can fire from there and get a good, I would say up to about 50 feet or more away from the target. So it's not massively longer than my previous place, but it is better, gives me more room and more scope. And of course, without this new place, I wouldn't have this epic wall of airsoft guns. Okay, let's do this. Quick test shot first. Make sure it works. As always, iPro. Okay, so here we go. Couple of test shots just down there, around the 3 and 4 section of the target. Oh, that is powerful. I am not exaggerating. The kick on this is epic. Okay, let's do this. Accuracy test, and then we'll do a little chrono test. Oh, I'm loving those results right there, considering the size of that inner circle right there. That is pretty good. Just to put it into perspective, here's my phone. Look at the size of the phone to the size of that inner circle, the bullseye, and then the 10 circle. And pretty much, as you can see, every shot landed either in the 10 circle or that inner circle. Now, just to give you a perspective again, do you want to know something else that is of similar size to my mobile phone? Look at the size of this beast. Now again, because I did a review of the Airsoft M82A1 Barrett, I often wondered, because it's such a huge beast and it's got a beast of a magazine, what would the size of the bullet be? What would the size of the ammunition be? And look at this beast, it's huge. But anyway, look. But yeah. And if you're wondering where and how, basically, like I said, I have connections with the film and movie industry, and their props department kindly obliged and sent me one of these. Wow. Just wow. .283, 289, 280, 283, 280, 283, 274, and we've got a lot back. Now, if I'm honest with you, I expected a bit more in terms of the FPS. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. The CO2 capsule that I've got in the mag at the moment is a brand that I've never used before. So I'm going to keep loading up the mag, so there's more rounds in there now. I'm going to keep loading this mag until this CO2 has finished. And when it's done, I'm going to revert back to my go-to CO2 option, which is from Crossman. I know these are quality CO2 capsules. And then we'll do another chrono test. Well, I'm telling you, the kick on this is something else for an airsoft gun. Okay, let's fill it up again. I'm really shocked at how hard this thing kicks. Anyway, let's keep going. Wow, what's that? About 4 mags worth now? That's a kick. and I can slightly feel it's getting slightly weaker, so I'm thinking it's starting to run out. Anyway, rapid fire. There you go. And it's done. Good. So, and the mag is fairly cold, so that CO2 is pretty much done. Let me put the Crossman in. .293.9, call that 294. 306. 294, call that 295. 299, call that 300. 302. 302 again. 294. Last one. 297, and there you have it. So I'm much happier with those results. But let's be honest, it's not the most powerful sidearm, is it? I've got much stronger ones at a much lower price. However, what you're getting with this is a CNC machined slide. You're getting strengthened internals. You're getting the official Glock branding. Yes, we know it's OEM'd by VFC, blessed by Glock, produced for you by UMAREX / Elite Force. And to me, put all those things together makes this worth every single penny. And if you want a sidearm that is the closest to the real thing in terms of a kick, let me just say it's nowhere near the kick of a real one, but the closest thing you're going to get to one in Airsoft is this bad boy right here, the UMAREX / Elite Force officially licensed Glock 34, the CO2 version, the deluxe version. So what's my initial thoughts on this bad boy right here? Well, it's a Glock, so you know I'm gonna love it anyway. However, I like to be honest in my reviews. Like I touched on before, when I first racked that slide, it was a bit sticky. This thing needs to be lubed up before you use it for the first time, unlike the other officially licensed Glocks that I've had before. Meet the family. Yeah, so apart from that, I've got no complaints so far. But if I stumble across anything that I don't like in the near future, trust me when I say I will let you know. Just make sure you're subscribed to my channel, and please make sure you are also following me on Instagram and Twitter. And if you ain't got Twitter, do Instagram. And if you ain't got Instagram, do Twitter. And if you've got none of those, I can't help you. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time on the Airsoft Mike YouTube channel. Check the video description for more info.